So we've already talked about the distributive property, but now let's have some practice with it. So if you recall, when we did the distributive property, going over properties, you would distribute whatever is outside those parentheses equally to the inside. So A times B is AB, and A times C is positive AC. Notice down here, A times B is AB, and then A times a negative C is negative AC. See how that works? Okay. When you do the distributive property, what I want you to think is that however many terms you have inside those parentheses is however many terms you're going to have in your expression. So if you have a binomial here, your simplified expression will also be a binomial. If you have a trinomial, your expression will also have a trinomial, as long as those terms are not the same. So let's take a look. We're going to go down this column. So I have 7 times x is 7x, and 7 times positive 4 is positive 28. Remember, I don't say subtraction anymore. It's integers. So I'm looking at this as this is a negative 5, and this is a negative 2. So if you need to star that, star it, because it's going to save you a lot of time. So this is negative 5 times m is negative 5m, and a negative 5 times a negative 2 is a positive 10. Negative times negative is a positive. Okay, same thing with number 7. If you think that's going to trick you up, star it. Because it's a negative 4 times a negative w, which is positive 4w, and a negative 4 times a negative 10, which is a positive 40. Here I have 3 times m is 3m, and 3 times n is plus 3n. When you have variables, you just want to put them in alphabetical order. It makes it easy to the reader. So 6a times b is 6ab, and 6a times 2c is positive 12ac. So I'm still multiplying my coefficients, and then I just bring those variables together to make that term, okay? But notice it starts as a binomial, it ends as a binomial. Here I have 1/4 times 8 is 2x, and 1/4 times negative 4, multiplicative inverse. So 1/4 times negative 4 is negative 1. And that's my answer there. Let's go ahead and do these because I know how you guys like fractions. So 1/6 times 3/5 I can cross reduce here, and I get 1/10 x. And then 1/6, I think that's 6 if I can see. 1/6 times 18 is positive 3. So my final answer is 1/10 x plus 3. Over here, I have negative 1/8 times a 4/5, so that's 1 and 2, and it can be negative 1/10 x. And then a negative 1/8 times a negative 24 is going to be a positive 3. So negative 1/10 x plus 3. So that's how you do the distributive property, which that should just be a refresher for you. And now we're going to see how you use the distributive property and then you combine those like terms. Okay? So now we're putting 2 pieces together. So let's start here. So I do 8 times 2x is 16x. 8 times negative 3 is negative 24 minus 6x. Now I can combine my like terms. 16x is negative 6x is 10x minus 24. My constant term stays the same. I'm going to go over here to number 20. Remember, I don't say subtraction, it's integers. They're either positive or negative. So here I have 9 times 2k is 18k. 9 times negative 4 is negative 36. This is a negative 2 times a 7k, which is negative 14k. This is a negative 2 times negative 12, which is a positive 24. So now that I've distributed, I can combine, and I get 4k minus 12. That would be my answer. Okay, let's look at number 21. So I can still distribute this negative. It's 10. This would be like saying a negative 1. So negative 1 times y is negative y, and a negative times a negative is a positive 6. And then finish it out with minus y. When I combine my like terms, I get negative 2y, and I get positive 16. All right, let's look at fractions down here on number 23. So I have 9/4 times 10/3. This can cross reduce, and I can cross reduce 2 and 5 to make it 15 over 2x. I don't spend a lot of time in fractions because you should be past your fear of fractions, so I just expect you to know how to do them. And then 9/4 times -4 is, of course, -9. Here I distribute -1/4 to 2x, and I get -1/2 x. And -4 times -8 is a +2. So when I combine 15 halves minus 1/2, that's 14 halves x, but 14 halves is 7. So I get 7x, and then I have a -9 and a +2, which is -7. So that's just a refresher in how we use distributive property and simplifying like terms.